Hello, everyone. How are you guys today or tonight, depending on where you are? Let me know in the comments down below how your day's been or how it started. I thought it would be fun to do this writer chat with me. It's been a little bit harder for me since I've been displaced from my townhouse to like film and edit my videos. So I really just needed, some other ways that I could give you guys valuable content. Sorry if you could hear my dog barking downstairs. But I figured it'd be fun to have everyone come on and we can do a chat. I also did a ask me anything on my Insta story. So I got quite a few questions. So I will be answering those today as well. Okay, just wanted to make sure that this video was up. And let's see, Maria's here. Hi, Maria. Good afternoon from Alberta, Canada. Awesome. Yeah, that's fun too, just to know like where everyone is from. I'm new, but have been watching a few of your videos and finding them very encouraging and helpful. Yay! That makes me feel so good. I'm so glad. Thank you. Thank you for following me and watching, and I'm glad that you find these videos helpful. It's nice to meet you, and I appreciate your support. And then you're reading Mistborn. Awesome. Yes, I actually started reading my first Brandon Sanderson book, which is Elantris. And I was like, I'll just start with his very first book. But I started with the audiobook, and I was like, I think it'll be better if I read it because I need to like see the words and the characters because it's such a big world and high fantasy. So I put it on hold for now, but I'm going to actually get the physical copy. So how are you liking Mistborn so far, Maria? Kaylee says, hello, hi. Pericula, hello. I'm so impressed you're putting content out at all. I know, I just like, I felt so bad. And I'm just like, I don't want to be gone. Like, this is like, I was like, this stinks. I want to be here. So I just was like, hey, what better way than to like, we can talk about writerly things, writing advice, whatever you want to. I just thought it would be fun to make it like chill and casual, and the like live write-ins and stuff have been really helpful, I know, for everyone. So I'm glad that I've been able to put those out too, because I'm like, I could do live streams. Those have been working for me. So I'm glad that you are appreciating them. Ooh, and Kaylee's reading The Well of Ascension. Oh my gosh, so much Brandon Sanderson love. I love it. Natalie, hello, hello, hello. Stephen, hey, how are you? Hi, Mr. Vlandis. Yay, so happy that there's so many people here. Mistborn is very absorbing so far. Awesome, cool. Now I'm like, once I get on the Brandon Sanderson train, like I'm gonna be just like gone. I'm like, okay, now I need to read all these books. So it'll be fun. I enjoy, so I don't know if you guys watch or listen to podcasts a lot, but Brandon Sanderson is on a podcast with a couple other authors called Writing Excuses, and it comes out every Sunday, and he always has such good advice. And I know his name is so big, I just haven't read any of his books, but I was like, I would totally, like, I know his advice is solid, so I know his books will be like equally as good. Always love your streams when I can make them. Oh, thank you. That makes me feel so good. That makes my day. So yeah, so this is pretty casual, pretty chill. We can just chat about whatever, and then I'll kind of sprinkle in some of the questions that I got on my Insta stories. Sorry, I'm charging my phone while also and it doesn't have a very long line here, so I'm like I'm pulling. Yay for another Writing Excuses fan. Yes. Yeah, I need to, sometimes I don't listen to them every time, but then even if there's one topic, I'm like, I know that, it's fine. And then I listen to it, I'm like, oh no, I actually got, some really good nuggets of information from it. So I need to just like always listen to them no matter what. The Writing Excuses podcast is always my listen for my walk on Mondays. Oh, I love that. I need to do that. And while doing the dishes, yes. Usually, since it comes on Sunday evenings for me, I usually am like, yeah, either doing dishes or meal prep or preparing like my clothes and like stuff for work the next day. So yeah. Also, sorry if I say a lot. Because obviously this is like unscripted and not edited. So that's just how I talk, is I say a lot. I also, there's a couple other podcasts that I subscribed to that I also really like. One of them is the Rebel Author podcast. So if anyone's looking for more podcasts, let me check really quick. So there's the Rebel Author podcast, Writer Pants on Fire, the Manuscript Academy, Write or Die, and Novel Marketing. That's better if you're like self-published. They give a lot of that. And so I don't listen to that one too much because I'm like, I don't have a book out right now. But when I do, I'm going to like binge listen to all of these episodes for Novel Marketing. But so those are the kind of the author ones I like to listen to. Okay. Ooh, let's see. We got a good question here from Maria. What would you say your biggest turning points in your writing journey have been? Attitude-wise, skill-wise, milestone-wise, light bulbs? That's a really good question. Let me see if I can, let's see. I want to put this up, but not, oh, wait. I'm just trying to change like my screen so that this shows in a, okay, whatever. I just didn't want to be like, hi guys. Hey, so just, but I want to keep this up. So we're just going to go like this. I'll gain a couple inches. So my biggest turning points, I would say, so when I first started getting into writing and when I first started getting back into writing and getting serious again, and I finished the novel that I had started working on in college, I had found NaNoWriMo, so that was like a game changer for me. And that November, I didn't finish writing that draft, but I had wrote like 36,000 words, which I had probably written like a couple thousand the whole year. Like I was barely writing at that point. So I got back into that world. I was probably at like the halfway point of that story. And so, oh, okay, yeah, pick and choose how you want to answer. Okay, cool, thanks. I guess, yeah, these are kind of milestone skills at the same time. I might answer all three, who knows? But, and then I finished that first draft in December, so right before the new year. And so that was a big milestone for me because I had been trying to finish that novel for like a couple years, and I would maybe write like a chapter a year. That's how bad it was, because once I graduated and started working as a physical therapist, I just got really busy and writing kind of fell to the wayside. But then NaNoWriMo helped me find it again. But then once I finished the novel, I was like, great, what do I do now? Hey, I want to get this published. And I didn't know anything about editing, the different type of edits, literary agents, querying. I knew none of that. So that was a big turning point for me, was like just learning the whole process and what it took to get that book, to be query ready and what that even meant. Big turning point / milestone also was when I started querying the Celestial Code, because that was when I started like seriously querying, because I did query that first manuscript that I just mentioned after I had refined it and gone through multiple drafts, but it wasn't like, it wasn't ready. And I maybe queried like 15 agents, and then I was just like, I'm going to move on. I know I can improve in my writing, but I had taken that manuscript as far as I could take it. But so when I started querying last February 2019, that was a big turning point for me. But then pretty much like the whole year of querying that manuscript was was a huge turning point for me with like skill and attitude, because it made me realize that this industry is really hard and this is going to take a long time. And when I was first learning about like the editing and querying and trying to finish that very first manuscript, I was so gung-ho, you guys. I was a nice green little newbie Holly who just like everything is perfect and sunshine and roses, and I'm gonna get an agent and I'm gonna get published and I'll be able to quit my job and it'll be great. And then it was like, no, that's not real life. Like even when you get your agent, and it'll take a while before you get your book, picked up by a publisher, well, then your book will be out in like 2 years. So it was me learning that I needed to be patient and be okay with all of the ups and downs that this writing journey has to bring. But so I will say those are my biggest turning points. I could go on and on with so much more, but that was a really great question. Pricula says, I also listen to Helping Writers Become Authors by Cam Weiland. What? She has a podcast? My mind is blown. I love her. Okay, I am writing this down. Cam Weiland. Or let me just put it on my phone. That'll be faster. Awesome. Oh my gosh, I love that. I did not know. I have so many of her books, and sweet. Mr. Vlandis asked, what genre do you prefer to write in and why? Most of my ideas are fantasy, and it's a lot of my ideas, they just come to me. I don't I don't choose them. They choose me, and they are always fantasy. I always wrote like little short stories and, books like when I was younger, because I first started writing when I was 6, just little books that you would staple together and draw and color and everything. But it was always like fun for me and an escape. So I feel like that's what fantasy is for me. And it's always like, I think because I read so much and I played so many video games, like Donkey Kong, Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers, Kingdom Hearts, like those all inspired me, and it's all fantasy. So like I think that that's fun because there's so much that opens up and so much that you can do with like magic systems, which I think is really cool. So, and sometimes when you don't know like the reason for something, you can blame it on magic, which is awesome. Kay Moylan was very informative for me in my early writing years. She is so clear and insightful. Yes, totally agree. Yes, and Pericula says, realizing what it actually took to get a book published was a huge turning point for me as well. Yes, it's just insane. It's insane. And it was such a turning point. And I think it didn't make me like, I think it made me more realistic, because that's why I was so gung-ho. Literally, I would wake up and I would write. And I would, at lunchtime, I would write. And after work, I would write. And it was just all the time, because I was like, oh, I want to do this. This is my goal and I will get there. And then when I realized it was going to take longer, then I kind of slowed down a little bit, because it was taking a lot out of me and it was consuming my life. But now it's all about balance. Hi, Locked Up Lucy. Locked Up Lucy asks, how many projects does everyone have going right now? I have 4 and just started homeschooling my high school daughter. Oh my gosh. Like, kudos to you. I hope that's going well. How's it going? I know, so like, did the school not offer like the virtual learning? Because I know that there's some schools where like they offer virtual learning, but then they're not offering the classes for the high schoolers to be able to take, especially if they want to go to college or they're trying to take these AP classes. And so, yeah, is this something that's just temporary or permanent? But 4 is also a lot of projects. Right now, I have 2. I am working on A Bargo's Riddle, which is a YA fantasy, and I'm working on developmental edits slowly but surely. And then I have just slowly started just started to outline my NaNoWriMo novel. And I'm giving myself 2 months because I want to set myself up for success. if you guys didn't see my posts I did post on YouTube. I probably will come out with a video about it, but I have posted my Preptober calendar, even though I'm starting it early and doing a Preptember, but I have a Preptober calendar if you guys are interested in doing NaNoWriMo, or even if you're not interested in doing NaNoWriMo, if you want to like try to outline your novel and have a concrete list of like what to do every day to outline your novel in the month, then go ahead and check out my website. If you're a newsletter subscriber already, if you look at one of my past newsletters, because I haven't changed the password, but it's on my members page. And if you're not, then please consider subscribing, because it's awesome. And I've had people saying some great things about it. They're really excited, and I was really glad to give you guys that content for free. Preptober calendar, go get it. Kat, hi Kat, hello. Kat asks, what's some good advice to take when you're in the process of revising / editing your draft? This is super random, but I love your channel and I hope you're doing well. Oh, thank you. That's so sweet. I love the heart. Thank you. I think for that is to really take it step by step and not be overwhelmed by everything that you have to do. So, you know, there's the steps of like, you have to go through those developmental big picture changes first before you go on to the nitty gritty line edits. So you want to make sure that you're like tackling your revisions in the right order, and still set goals, because that's the hard thing for me. And that is still something that I'm working on with my developmental edits right now is, you know, with writing, you'd be like, I wrote this many words or pages, you know, but like with the developmental edits, it's a little less concrete and it's a little less like objective. So I've been trying to go by chapter by chapter, but that's something that, you know, will help you to like feel motivated to be like, I finished editing this chapter, or I finished tackling revising character arcs or something like that. And definitely use beta readers because they will help you a ton. So I hope that was like helpful advice and not like a duh, Holly, we all know that. Okay, so let's see, people chatting. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Kat's working on too many projects currently too. Nice. Curricula can usually only handle one project at a time. Yeah, I find it hard enough to squeeze that in. Yeah, so one of the pieces of advice that I got, if you're working on multiple projects, I do also have a video about balancing multiple projects, but one of the things is to work on projects that are in different stages. So right now, like I'm doing developmental edits, but then I'm also outlining a new novel. Like if I was trying to do developmental edits for like 2 different manuscripts or try to outline 2 different novels, that would be kind of crazy. So they say like if you are going to juggle more than one, try to work on them in different stages, but that can work to your advantage. So for example, like let's say I finish these developmental edits right now. I could send that off to beta readers. And while the manuscript is with beta readers, I could be working on my outline for my next novel. Then when I get the beta feedback, then I can go through that while my, you know, so like whatever, you know, you're giving yourself time and breaks in between, but then you're able to work on something else. Or also what's helpful is that, like, let's say one day I'm like, I don't really feel like editing, like I'm exhausted, but you're like, ooh, but I can like outline, I can like work on this character profile for my main character. That would be fun. So you're still finding ways to be productive, even if you're not feeling like working on like one project. So that's another plus of balancing multiple projects. Okay. Yay, 1 more point for fantasy. Okay. Hi, Autumn. Hello. Welcome, welcome. Maria says, I'm focusing on only one fiction project right now, a historical fantasy. I have a bit of a one-track mind, and what with teaching, I probably would not have the time management for more. Yeah, that's hard too. And sometimes too, depending on what project it is, it consumes me so much that I can only focus on that one at a time. And yes, I like the freedom that fantasy gives me. Thank you for answering. Yes, of course. Yay. Let's see. I'm just going through the comments. Yes, nano is fun, but always requires time. Yes, definitely. Oh, oops, I missed this one. Homecoming is going good so far. I give her $1 for every day she doesn't fight me on doing work. Oh man, you are a saint, Lucy. Ian asks, how detailed is your outlining? Ooh, this is also a good question because hopefully this answer will change and it will be a lot more detailed than I was. So I usually follow the 3-act structure and the 27 beat sheet / Save the Cats 15 beat sheet or 15 beats. But I'm going to be more in depth this time since I'm giving myself 2 months to outline. I want to come up with like paragraphs for each scene that I'm writing in, along with the beats. So usually I only write out a couple sentences of what's going to happen in each beat. I probably have like a pretty good paragraph about what's going to happen in each beat, but there's a lot of scenes that can be included in each of those beats. So my plan is to like write out detail and be detailed so that when NaNoWriMo comes around, I can just like fly and make it happen a lot easier for me because I like know what's going to happen. There's not any stumbling blocks. Maria says, I'm planning on nanoing this year to boost me on my way to completing my first draft before. Awesome. Yay. Oh, that's sweet. Oh, before Christmas. Okay. Sweet. You can totally do it. Sweet. Oh, my outlines are 25 to 30 pages long. Yes. So my friend Savannah, she got the shiny new idea in June, I think, that just like she took it and ran with it. But her outline was 15,000 words, and then she's written 15,000 words of that manuscript, which is crazy, right? Because so yeah, my outlines are only a couple pages too. I'm seeing Steven says his outlines are like 5 pages max. So yeah, that like mine are maybe max 4 pages. But I also have a lot of stuff in maybe my research page of my like story binder, story Bible. But I'm hoping that mine will be this long this time around. No, don't run away, Mr. Blandus. Come back. Come back. So I am going to be a part of the AuthorTube virtual retreat, which is not this coming weekend, but next weekend on September 12th and 13th. And mine is all about creating character arcs. And I do say it is helpful to outline. And then I have a line that says, the plotters are saying, come to the dark side. We have cookies. So don't run away. We have cookies. I'm trying so hard to be an outliner. Yeah. So one of you guys get an early tip that I have in that workshop, but I say that it's okay if you're not a plotter, but after you've written your 0 draft or your first draft, you should then plot out all of the beats and see which things that you've written you want to keep and what kind of stray away and what do you need to refine. So I say like, you don't need to be an outliner at first, but after you've written the book, then maybe try to like see where you're at. So okay, so really quick, I'm going to go through some of the questions that I got on my Insta stories. Let's see. Okay. So someone asked for a recent writing breakthrough. Oh, and this is great because this happened to me sometime last week, was me realizing with all of the crazy stuff that's been happening with being displaced because of the smoke damage in my townhouse and all of that fun stuff, and that developmental edits are so hard for me that I need to not like beat myself up and try to do these edits in like such a short amount of time. I was giving myself like not realistic deadlines for just everything that's been going on. So that was one of my most recent breakthroughs, was that I gave myself grace and I said, okay, this week I didn't even give myself like usually I give myself a page or like a page count or like chapter goal of what I want to edit. And I was like, just work on a Bargo's Riddle this week. Just work on it. And I have worked on it so far for like 5 minutes, but you know what? I met my goal and I did work on it for a little bit. So that was a recent breakthrough that I had, that like, you know what? This is going to take me a little bit longer than I thought and a little bit longer than I'd like to, but I'm okay with it. So that was a recent breakthrough. Oh, I forget if I said Janine Bat SFL. Or Janine Bats FL. Sorry, Janine, if I got your username wrong. And then, Natalie, aka WriterLock, asked, what authors do you read/follow to help hone your craft even though you're published? So I'm actually not published, but I'm glad that you thought I was. Awesome. I wish I had a book out, but no, I am not published yet. But the authors that I read and follow, definitely Victoria /VE, I don't know why I'm like lisping, VE Schwab, Marissa Meyer, let's see, oh my goodness, oh gosh, I'm trying to think. I was like, I'm not gonna prep these so it's all like in the moment, and now I'm like, who else do I read? Bethany Atazada is a great author, and Jessie Elliott writes really good romance, and you know, I would like to take her, you know, use her advice for like writing my romantic subplots and things like that. And then of course like K.M. Weiland, Brandon Sanderson, people that I listen to on the podcasts. So they are awesome. Also, if you want really good voice, Jason Reynolds is your man. His voice of his characters are amazing. So I read the Track series and just finished All American Boys a couple weeks ago, and it was just awesome. So definitely some good people to follow. And then Danielle, the writer.co, asked, what's your process for getting beta readers? So I used to just ask random people and friends, but now I have like a steady group of people that like I've asked that who like actively want to read, you know, the next manuscript. And I'm like, hey, I like your feedback. You're timely. You give good feedback. I trust your input. But how I found them originally was that I shared tidbits, quotes, you know, snippets of the Celestial Code or a Bargo's Riddle. And then people were like, ooh, this sounds good. So then when it came time for me to need beta readers, I already had people who were interested in it because I gave them a little taste of what my writing style was and what the book was about. So now they've, you know, kind of become my stable people. And in a way, they've become critique partners because, and I don't really have beta readers anymore, because the people who have beta read for me, then I started beta reading for them because we would like swap manuscripts at the same time. So now like all my beta readers are critique partners. Pericula says, my outlines are only a few pages, but I need them. Otherwise I'll end up with like a 200K manuscript, 3/4 of which I'll have to delete because it clogs up the story. Yes. Sometimes it's good to like write too much than not enough. I don't know, the underwriter versus overwriter. I would rather be an overwriter. If anyone has strong opinions for the opposite or for or against, let me know. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's the AC. I swear there's not a ghost in here. But there's a really cute little like dog towel here. That's super cute. Oh, and then there's an always kiss your dog goodnight. And then the one here says, start each day with a grateful heart. Oh. I too am a connoisseur of random squirrels. Oh my God, that's like the greatest line ever. I love that. I love that so much. And Alci is here. Hello from Turkish Republic. Hi, welcome, welcome. So good to have you here. Hi, Mevia. Yay, hello. It's so hard to be an underwriter. Yes. And that's me realizing that's why I want my outline to be so detailed, because developmental edits are so hard for me that I'm like, oh my goodness. I really need to write as much as I can and write as refined of a first draft as I can so that I don't have to, edit as much developmentally. That would be wonderful. And Heather's here. Hola, chica. Heather made it. Yay. Heather just popping in really quick to say, hey, I have to watch this back since I'm finishing up work. Yes, thank you for popping in. And yes, if anyone does have to go, please watch the replay. Let me go through the rest of the Instagram questions I got, and then if any other questions pop up, then I'll answer those too in the comments. So let's see. Okay, so Sarah Francis _author gave 3 questions. Woo, thank you, Sarah. So first question is, favorite way to procrastinate? This thing. Okay, so don't judge me, you guys, but I just found, well, it was one of my patients who got me hooked on this game that is similar to, what's it called? The Candy Crush. I was like, I can't even remember I used to be addicted to Candy Crush, and then I deleted it because the creators were jerks and were trying to copyright the word candy and get Candyland to go away. And I'm like, Candyland was there first. So, but this game Cookie Jam is very similar, but it's fun. There's not a lot of ads. You don't have to annoy your friends asking for lives. And you can still play and not pay anything. It's so much fun. And so I'll usually find a mobile game that I'm addicted to, or I usually find a mobile game and then I become addicted to it and I play it till I get sick of it, which usually doesn't happen. And then I just find another one and then I play that. So right now, that's my best way to procrastinate is play my mobile game, but then I'm also a multitasker. So then I also am binge watching a show on Netflix while I'm playing my game so that I can do 2 things at once and I'm being productive still, right? In my procrastination. So that's my favorite way. She also asks coffee or tea. Def coffee, but I love me some tea. My favorite tea actually isn't even caffeinated tea. It's the throat coat tea by, oh shoot, I don't know what the brand is, but it's a throat coat. And so when I talk a lot or my throat is kind of sore, I'll just have that, and it's it just tastes so good. But coffee, I need that every morning, unfortunately, and it's my jam. And then last question by Sarah Francis. She asked, do you prefer writing by hand or on a laptop? Definitely a laptop. Here be my laptop, which is actually my work laptop, and it's dirty and it's huge, but I still haven't looked into getting my personal laptop fixed because I was like, this is here and I could just use this. But there was actually once or twice when my laptop was so slow last year for NaNoWriMo that I actually did handwrite, and it was very refreshing because it was just a different medium. And even though it was hard to be okay, now I have to count how many words I wrote, you have to transpose it or transcribe it. But I don't know which word because I'm a writer. But anyways, it's sometimes it could be nice to switch it up. And I also found a couple times last year, because I had a couple long drives, I dictated. So I used Google Voice and it went into the Google Docs, and I wrote a lot. And it was hey, if you've got a drive, just start talking into your phone and writing. And that's another way to be productive. So I like that because it was really showing me that there wasn't any excuse for not writing, because I can talk, I could write by hand if I don't have my computer, or I could type. Let's see. Pericula says, I like to stick to my word count targets for each beat, scene, chapter. That's a huge part of my outlining, giving myself a certain amount of words to achieve a certain goal. Yes, I love that. I usually am not sure how long my manuscript is going to be. I always aim for like between 70 and 80K, but it's only it's when I get to like the fourth or the 10% mark is usually when I know about how long my manuscript will be, because I know if I'm at the 10% mark or the 20%, 25% mark, then I can just multiply that and be like, okay, I'm already at, 10,000 words at 10% through the manuscript. Okay, I probably will get to 100K or something. So I like that. Once I've written some words, then I can give myself a target. YouTube, yes. It's a very dangerous rabbit hole. I fall down the rabbit hole when I'm on my computer, because since I like to play my mobile game, then I can't watch a YouTube video at the same time. But sometimes I will also play my mobile game and listen to audiobooks. So that's a way for me to read and be productive while procrastinating. So gosh, the screen is so bright. Sorry, guys. And coffee is awesome, yes. Lucy says, my best way to procrastinate is binge watching AuthorTube, especially Kate Kavanaugh. Yes! Kate is awesome. I was actually able to hop on and watch the first part of the Millwordy, which I'm not participating in, but it's crazy. And it's so much fun. She has such good vlogs and good like topics that she talks about. She is inspiration. She is hashtag goals for me. And I'm glad you like to binge watch AuthorTube. That's me. I'm like, I was actually just thinking about that this morning on my way to work, because sometimes I'll play a video and listen to it. Obviously I'm not watching it, but I'll listen to it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so many people that I want to watch and there's not enough time. And Kat says, my latest binge has been Euphoria, and dang, it's good. But occasionally I go down the AuthorTube, BookTube rabbit hole. Nice. I have never heard of Euphoria. I'm going to check out Euphoria. Cool. What's it about and where is it on? Because that sounds good. And oh my goodness, I used to get hooked on BookTube, but then I just kept adding so many books to my Goodreads TBR, and so I realized that I felt bad, but I haven't been watching as much BookTube because I'm like, I don't want more book recommendations. I already have enough. So then I just didn't gosh, I just lost my train of thought because whoa, oh my god. So I don't watch too much of it anymore. Oh my gosh. Is it the end of the day or not for you, Holly? Holy. This live stream is like, how can we get Holly tripped up? This is me in real life. I always joke that when I'm older, I'll be like, wait, what's my name again? Okay, I'm gonna do the last question on my Insta stories that I got from Will to Write. Thank you, Will. He asked, best way to outline a book series, any tips? Yes, I actually haven't written a book series, but for the Celestial Code, the book that I queried last year, I outlined, well, I had like small outlines, maybe like half a Microsoft Word document page of what was going to happen in 5 other books in the series, because the series is supposed to be like 5 to 6 books. And so, wait, what's the question again? I don't want to mess it up. Best way to outline. Okay, yes. So definitely once you outline your first book, then I would start outlining all the other books. Like, don't start writing that book until you've outlined the other books. And yes, those things that happen may change, but you at least have a concrete idea of what the end is going to be, because that's what you want. Because with like a book, you have those character arcs, and it starts and it ends, and it's that overarching arc and overarching plot points too. But for the series, you have to do that like on a more massive scale, and your characters will still have to grow and things still have to happen in the story. And so outlining it beforehand and making sure that each book is going to be different, and that you're not just recycling the same characters, recycling the same like plot that's happening, that will help, so that you make sure that it's still fresh and new, but you're still kind of sticking to the roots of the story. I don't know too with books if a series, if the theme is supposed to stay the same across the whole series. I'm not sure about that, but maybe that's something that would change, but like, because your character is going to grow and change and the theme will be different for each one. So hopefully that was helpful. Booktube is so dangerous. Yes. But then it's kind of good too, because I actually recently cleaned out my Goodreads TBR, and it took me a long time, but I was like, you know what? I'm not going to get to this book, or I don't even know why I added this book, or this book doesn't really interest me anymore. So it's good to do that. You can like add ones you're interested in, but then you're like, you know what? I'm good. And Kat says, Euphoria is basically intense teen melodrama and deals with a lot of different plot lines from different characters. It features Zendaya! Yes! I love her! Hold on, the pen that I took isn't working, so let me try another one. Okay, no, I just keep trying all these pens that are dead. Great. Then I'm just going to put this in my phone. But this sounds so good, because I love books like, or I love like shows like Riverdale. That's my jam. Totally love like drama. Juicy cray is what I call it. And I have a huge list of like Netflix shows and things to watch. So I'm adding Euphoria. So thank you. That is fun. Lucy said, I was watching Dan Brown's masterclass today, and he said to write the finale first so you know where you're going. I'm going to try that. Yes, I actually there was someone on my live stream on Saturday who was like, I'm writing the last scene in my novel. And then we're like, oh my God, congrats. And she's like, no, I'm writing the ending first. So I have to, after I finish this, I have to write the whole book. And I was like, we're like, oh, okay, never mind. We're taking our congratulations back. But, and that might change, but I think that's also really interesting too, because that's the biggest thing, is knowing where your character is going to end up, and they can't be the same person that they were in the beginning of the book. Whoever they are at the end, they had to go through that whole book to get to that point. So that, maybe I'll even do that. Maybe I'll try that for my nano novel, because seeing what they become, then you can make them that much more below that and make their arc that much stronger. So that's kind of cool. And then like you'll be, obviously as the writer, you're like, ooh, I know what's going to happen to you, but you can't get there yet. So Lucy, definitely let me know how that goes, because I'm really interested in that. And I know Victoria Schwab does that too. And like, she's one of my idol / writer queens. So I might have to try it. Teen Wolf. Yes. My friends are obsessed with Teen Wolf. So I also have that on my to watch list on Netflix, because they were obsessed. And I'm like, I know it's good. I'm going to try. My teen childhood, it still has a special nostalgic place in my heart. Yes. And I'm okay with watching older stuff too, because it was back in my senior year of college into my first year of physical therapy school. I watched all, I think it's 8 or 9 seasons of the X-Files, which is really old, you guys. So I'm like, this alien is really jank and totally looks fake. But the story was so good and the characters were so good that I just watched it. So I'm totally okay with like watching older things. And then this past December, I binge watched Dexter, all like 5 seasons. I don't know. So I'm okay with watching older things and longer things. I'm not scared by them anymore. 9 seasons, bring it on. Oh, it could have been better. There were a lot of inconsistencies. Oh man. I know, now that I'm a writer, I'm gonna be like, ugh. Like that's what gets me to like stop reading things or stop watching things, because I'm like, I'll be reading something, I'm like, this got published. Like, look at all this telling. Or I'm like, they just repeated themselves 3 times. And I'm like, no, I'm angry. I'm not reading this. Sometimes it's bad to be a writer, you know? And Steven writes the ending first. Ooh, awesome. Yeah, I'm so curious. I have a problem keeping secrets from myself during writing a book, trying to make sudden surprise happen, that I'm constantly changing the storyline. I'm excited to try writing backwards. Cool. I think that's super cool. Yeah, that's my thing, is like I always want to get to like the juicy parts, so like the inciting incident, um like the break into 2 when they go to like the new world, or their, you know, their normal life changes, and then of course the midpoint, and then the like dark night of the soul where they like end up changing, and then of course the like climax and the final scene. So I mean that's pretty much the whole, so all of the little things in between, I'm like, oh, we have to write that. I don't want to. But sometimes it's nice, you know, obviously you need those quieter points to connect A and B, but it makes it that much sweeter when you get to those parts. Mevia, this is why I don't watch Hallmark movies, because I'm a writer and everything is so predictable. Oh, yes, that's so true. Like, I'm like, oh, well, of course, that thing that they showed there, well, now that's going to come back and this and this. Or I'll be watching, oh, that's the mentor. They're going to die. Or like, oh, they're, you know, they're together at the midpoint. That means that there's going to be some misunderstanding and they're going to break up, but then they'll get back together in the end. I'm the biggest judge now that I'm writing. It's horrible. I miss being clueless about crafts, so I can just enjoy movies and books. I know. The struggle is real. Pericula says, I always struggle with the stretch between midpoint and finale. Let's just get on with it and finish it already. Yes. Yeah, people always talk about the muddy middle, and I'm like, the muddy middle is fine. It's like getting out of the muddy middle. It's not like, for me, it's okay getting to the middle, but it's coming out of it. You're like, oh gosh, yeah. Because you know, you're halfway there and you have so much longer to go. It's rough. It's rough. Oh, but that's so much fun, you guys. And yeah, the second act or the middle is always the toughest. Yeah. I feel like it's getting over that hump. It's like Wednesday. It's like hump Wednesday, right? Or was it called? Yeah, you get over the hump of the week. It's not Monday anymore, but it's not Friday yet. So it's like, for me, the whole world. Oh, wait, hold on. For me, the whole world. I have the whole world in my mind. I know where it's going and how people die. The little details are put into my DM style books. So I guess I kind of write the end and create the story between. Nice. I like that. I think too, like, even if you are a pantser or like a plantser, it's still good to know where your story is going to end. So, because some people want that surprise for themselves too when they're writing, and they want to discover their characters and the plot. And so I think like that's, you know, totally legit, but I think it still helps to know the ending, because then you have like a goal in sight and know you can, you know, go through this maze, but you know you're going to end up here. Up to the midpoint, I'm fine. I enjoyed that. But the bad guys close in beat always gets me. Yes, that part is tough. So guys, let's start wrapping up. So we've been going almost an hour. What? Time flies by when you're having fun. But let me know if you have any other questions or anything you guys Anything else you guys want to talk about? Because yeah, my hair's doing funky things. I cut my hair on Saturday and it's way shorter than I thought it was going to be. Like it was supposed to be here. She's like, your armpits? I'm like, yeah. And it's up here. This is, but anyway, so I was just like, I'm like trying to get used to it because it's just, I'm not used to it being this short, but we're going to deal with it. Sorry. First world problems. I know. Don't judge me. uh, But yeah, I'm looking forward to. So things I'm going to do today. Let me know what you guys are going to do the rest of the day / evening. I don't know if I'm going to write today. I don't really feel like doing any like editing or outlining. So I think I'm going to read because I feel like I can do that. And then I'm also, we've been going through Avatar. We're on book 2, which is so good. Bye, Mr. Vlandis. Thank you. Thanks for stopping by. Woohoo. And oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Mevia. So sweet. For me, I'm like, hey, I'll use less shampoo and conditioner. It'll take me less time to straighten my hair. And I can wait longer before I get it cut again. So I was trying to find like the positives. But yeah, so we're in the middle of Avatar and we got our mother-in-law, or my mother-in-law, into watching it. And she's like, hey, are we watching Avatar tonight? And I'm like, yeah. So that's what I'm not procrastinating, but I would be playing Cookie Jam and watching Avatar. And maybe I should like prep some like Instagram posts or something like that. So, because I've been bad with like prepping posts. So I used to like post almost every day. Now I'm like, twice a week, that's fine, right? Nearly midnight here and I have a conference session to attend at 8 a.m. So I'll just go to bed now. I think I figured out more of my plot during the stream. So yay. Oh, that's awesome, Pericula. Thank you so much for coming on. And please get some sleep. I hope you sleep well and have a good conference session. Woohoo. I'll be doing a little rewriting, changing my book from middle grade to YA. Oh my gosh, Steven, that's what I'm doing right now. I don't know if you know that, but my YA fantasy, Bargo's Riddle, was YA. I changed it to middle grade, and now I'm changing it back to YA. So yeah, we are in the same boat. Fun. But I've been finding, because I'm changing it back to YA because a lot of the themes and stuff in it felt more YA. So I'm not having to change like a super, like a lot, because I'm changing it for a reason, because it felt more YA, even though I tried to make it a middle grade. Yeah, silver linings, thanks. And Kat, probably going to finish the book You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson tonight. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to finish. So the book I'm reading right now is Wires and Nerve by Marissa Meyer. It's like the graphic novel sequel to the Lunar Chronicles, but I'm trying to finish it because I don't know if you know, but I have a book club called Diversity is Lit. I have links down below. And our book club pick for September was You Should See Me in a Crown. So because you already finished it, you should totally be a part of our live stream chat for it, which is always like at the end of the month. So probably is 30 days of September. Yeah, 30, like usually we'll do either the 30th or the day or two before the last day of the month. We try to find a good day like on the weekend. So you should totally join us, and I hope that you enjoyed it because I'm super excited to read it. I'm totally in the mood for an LGBT contemporary by a Black author. Like, yes, I'm here for it. So yeah, I hope you're enjoying it. Oh, I'm so jealous that you're gonna finish it. Cool. Let's see, anything else? I think I will give a little more time before saying bye. But this was so much fun, and we need to do this more often. I also do have a kind of writerly chat with a friend that is in the works, and I believe it will be The first one we're going to host is going to be on September 18th. And I think we were talking about like 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So be on the lookout for that because I'm super excited. It's kind of like a new series that'll be really casual, chill, chatty, and like I'm looking forward to it. So cool. Yes, it's so adorable and sweet and heartfelt. Really gets my feels. Perfect. We need as many good feels as we can this year, right? So awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me. This was so much fun. I had a blast chatting with you guys. I feel like I need to do this now. This needs to be a staple part of my channel. Maybe like once every couple months or something. I know we chat during live stream write-ins too, but this was like a fun kind of casual thing. So thank you guys so much, and I hope you have a great rest of your day or evening. Bye.